Hey guys, Charles Rudibaugh here. I'm about to make a quick video for you before I roll out in the Z06. Here's my opinion. Attraction marketing is a myth and a pitfall. And asking what can I do on social media to start attracting people may not be the best place to start. May not be the best place to get launched or get relaunched if you need to get restarted. It's just the wrong question, right? The right question is, who can I put on my list today and approach today? That's it, right? What should your social media game be? I'd say just be the most positive, optimistic version of yourself that exists and leave it at that, right? You need to become someone that people want to follow first by leading by example for probably a while. Then your attraction marketing is going to start working. But we have no integrity if we're fake it till you make it, acting like a big shot, like big shot leaders before we're even paying our bills full time with this business. Doesn't make sense. When you become the leader that you need to be, because you're doing all the right things that you want your people and your team to do, and they start doing them because they need to be doing them, and then you're going to start attracting people because you'll be someone that people actually should follow. And it's just the way the universe works. But what are we doing until then? Right? How do I get to that level where I'm successful and I start attracting people without being fake? Right? How do I be authentic and be authentically a leader before I'm leading? Right? How do I start leading and becoming the type of person people are attracted to and want to join with before I've started making the money? How do I get there? How do I set up my social media game to start getting people to come to me? You can't escape the fact that you need exposures. Exposure is the name of the game. We can't avoid this part of it. I mean, how has that worked for you so far? Right? I mean, we end up sitting behind our Facebook profiles trying to think of ways to avoid doing work, hoping people come to us, right? The best way to guarantee growth is let's go get it, not sit around waiting for it, right? So the fact of the matter is you need to start peaking people. It all starts with peaking, right? You know the bear hunter, right? Imagine how successful the bear hunter is going to be sitting in their house all day waiting for a bear to knock down their door so they can shoot it. And we got to go out and get the bears, right? I mean, phase one. Right? What kind of a culture do you want to create? Phase one culture. Do you want to have a whole team of people in phase one or a whole team of people sitting on their computers hoping people come to them? Right? Let's say all these people did come to you now. And now you got this great team, this big team somehow. Are they going to continue to follow you for very long? Are they going to listen to you? What kind of an example are you setting for them? What will you show them to do? How will you show them to do it? How will you help them through their challenges if you never went through any because you just had people coming to you, right? I mean, so your reps need to see you peaking people, right? If you're in the position where the income you make from this just comes in, whether you keep peaking people or not, then you don't got to peak people anymore. You made it, right? But if you need new momentum, you're either going to be out there going to work in person, getting names and numbers, going out there, talking to people, meeting people, or you're going to be online, peaking people online somehow. It's okay, friends in real life, friends online, it's the same thing, but you got to peak people. But who do I talk to? Is there anyone out there to talk to? Right? You should be looking at this business, like looking at the marketplace like a mosquito in a nudist colony. Like you don't even know where to start. You're talking to everybody. So here's the idea. Pick up a rock and throw it up in the air and let it fall to the ground. And the first person that walks by the rock say, "Excuse me, ma'am, excuse me, sir, you're the person that walked by the rock first. And I want to ask you a question. Do you keep your business options open?" Just say something. So here's a great question. First, here's a great suggestion. Delete every one of your Facebook friends who's already in the business. You can't recruit them anyway. Then go max out your friends list with people that you don't know that are in your city. I mean, are you on Facebook to watch what your other Kyani friends are doing, how they build their businesses, to watch them being successful? Or do you want to use it as a tool to actually start building your business? How about having 5,000 friends on Facebook that you can send a private message to peak them? Right? I mean, that's what matters. I mean, you can't sit around like a guy with two catcher's mitts on, man. Two catcher's mitts, waiting to catch someone, right? You can't sit around letting people come to you, hoping people come to you, right? But you also can't blast your Facebook account with Kyani expecting to attract people. It's going to turn everyone off. You have to peak some people. You got to go peak some people. You have to pick up the bat sometimes and step up to the plate and start swinging. So it's all about exposures. It's all about peaks that lead to exposures. You pique their interest, then we can get them to a presentation, expose them. But in reality, it's all about speed and exposures. Speed of exposures, exposing a big group of people fast, and you'd have to put enough work and energy in force into the universe to force something out the other side, right? To force the result, all out massive action. That's what's going to get the ball rolling, right? And then after that, most of your production is going to come from warm markets through tap rooting. You're working with your leaders, but you'll always be doing phase one, even if it's just to create the right culture, to create the right environment, and to be an example, and to have fresh stories, right? To be an example. But so it's in the effort in the beginning that gets it out, that gets the momentum out there, that gets the peaking, that gets the energy, which turns into lots of exposures. Then it can become leadership, mentoring, taprooting, working with your group, creating production in the team, developing new leaders. That whole game starts once we have some new momentum, new growth, some new people to work with, right? That game starts once we have some new people to work with. That's only going to come from peaking. Someone's got to peak someone, right? I mean, we want to try focusing on getting momentum in all of our legs. How about just one leg? Don't worry about both legs. Just get one leg going. Get one new person on the team, right? Then we can focus on going 20 levels deep, taprooting, working with them, right? But we can't do that until we get a leg started, right? Get some new fresh blood in there. Then we can taproot at 20 levels deep. So we don't want to get caught trying to manage a bunch of meatballs. You know, a meatball team, like a team that's not even really a team, doesn't even really exist, just a few people or a handful of people that all signed up in something, that are all people that may or may not start doing something someday. Like, that's not a team, right? Just because someone signed up. It's the people who don't even take the time to watch this video that was made for them. That's not your team, right? People who want to be removed from the email list. Like, that's not your team, right? The team is the people that want these videos, that want to try to do it, that are trying to peak people, right? Why try to motivate them? This is not for them. Right? They already made their decision to not want this to work for them more than they want their current situation. Right? They'd rather have their situation. So go make a bunch of money with this by getting back into phase one and have a whole new team growing. Let them see you doing it. Let them see you start making a ton of money, and then realize they made the wrong decision by giving up, because they see you're getting rich without them. Because you got back in phase one. Because you weren't hoping they went and made you rich. You were the one to make you rich. All momentum comes from new blood. All momentum comes from new blood, and that's going to start for getting back into phase one. But if we're going to make this happen, we got to be talking to people, right? We got to be piquing people's interest, right? I think the cogs of the universe and the gears of the universe start working and churning when we get back into phase one, all out massive action. Otherwise, we're just trying to manipulate things and get it to finagle it for us. That's what this game is not manipulating things. It's not managing people who don't work and then becoming one of them and trying to motivate people. That's not what this is about. Asking what can I do to get my people to work more is the wrong question. It's not what this is. It's about learning how to be a professional peaker. We want to learn something to say that works, and find a peaking process that works for us, that we can roll prospects into the pipeline, get them to a presentation, and get the exposures. And get the exposures. The exposures turn into reps. And then we can develop a closing ratio. Talk to 10, get 1. Talk to 10, get 1. Whatever, your ratio. What your ratio is, right? The name of the game is exposures. Exposures. So it's like, okay, how do I get to the top of this thing and start making big money? Well, ultimately get a bunch of product volume flowing through this company. Okay, then we got to get a big team going, right? Okay, well, what do I got to do? That's a good question. What do I got to do? The key word is do. What do I got to do? I got to do something, not manage people, not motivate people. I got to get some people turned on to this company who are motivated to share it with people. I got to get some people to look at it in order to get them turned on to it. I got to get exposures. I got to get people pique their interest and get them exposed, right? I can't just hope they come to me. I got to go talk to people, make a list. The most guaranteed way to start making money is go get the people from your list, turn them into exposures. Right? I mean, it means you gotta put people on the list. Make a new list. Make a new list for the week, for this week. Maybe it's making a whole new list of 10 people you haven't even met yet, and you gotta go talk to people, and you can't even make the list because you haven't met these people yet. Right? Build a whole new list of 10 that you're gonna go through this week from scratch, or make a list of your warm markets you haven't talked to yet, or you're online sending out messages, actually sending out peaking messages to your friends on Facebook. Either way, but are you piquing people's interest? Which will lead to new reps. That's what's going to solve all your problems. You say, well, my warm market is no good, or I already, went through my whole warm market. That's okay. Go meet new people. Make a new list. Make a brand new list and practice your new skills on your new list. Your new and improved skills on your new list. You're better than you were before on your old list, right? You say, I'm doing it already, and I'm doing what they told me, and I piqued a lot of people already, and they're not interested. Well, how many? A lot, you say. Well, how many is a lot? Because I remember peaking 100 people a day. I remember making a new list of 100 every day, 4 days a week for a whole summertime, going and getting names and numbers. You say, well, I'm peaking all the time, but I don't get any results. Well, we should evaluate that. That's okay. Let's evaluate what you're saying. I mean, we've got ice cream here. We've got ice cream here, but you're making it sound like Brussels sprouts and people don't want it, right? Everybody's interested in what we have unless we come off as weird or unattractive or pitching them some way in some manner that turns them off, right? I mean, there are some weirdos out there that just don't like ice cream. We get that, you know what I mean? But do you really want people who don't like ice cream on your team anyway? I mean, that's weird. But if you're making ice cream sound like Brussels sprouts, then no wonder but nobody wants it. Right, so here's a quick little 5 tips maybe to fix the process. Number 1, learn a new approach. Just practice, just learn a new approach. Number 2, adjust your verbiage. Adjust your verbiage, quick little tips, little tweaks, right? Show up different, maybe smell different, or more positive energy, have a more positive vibe. Number 4, learn the difference between prospects and suspects. Prospects are good for peaking. They like the business. And then last is work with your upline to find out what you're doing wrong. Go over what you're saying. And don't be bummed out that you've been doing it wrong. Be excited that now you're going to be doing it right. Anything worth doing great is worth doing bad at first. You got to be bad before you can be good, and you got to be good before you can be great. Right? And anyways, you can't say the wrong thing to the right person. You can't say the right thing to the wrong person. It just got to start saying something to people. You got to learn new verbiage. You can learn new verbiage. You can learn how to say the same thing in a different way, in a different tone of voice, with different energy, but you got to just keep adjusting. The main thing is you just got to have something to say, and you got to start saying it. Network marketing is a contact sport. The more people you contact, the more you win. It's just like football. Right? Football's a contact sport. You can't expect to not get in contact with others if you're playing football. You can't play football with the expectation that you're always going to avoid being tackled. It's a contact sport. You can't play the sport of network marketing without the expectation that you got to contact people. You can't just wait for them to come to you. Charles, when does it all end? When our whole team has accomplished their reason why. When everyone around us is healthy. When everyone we care about has had their chance to say yes or no to the opportunity. And we've done our part by sharing the blessing. That's it. When you have a residual income that comes in every month because your team is so productive, because there's so many leaders, and they know what they're doing and they're doing it, and they're all in phase 1 because they watched your example. Because you have so many leaders who are in phase 1 because you're leading and you were leading and you've been leading for so long, being an example of a phase 1 machine. Right? When your income is not affected by you taking a month off, or 2 or 3, you can pull back. You don't have to peak people all the time anymore. Right? You're done when the right thing for you to do is just to get out of the way and focus on building a whole fresh new team, because your other teams are so solid with so many leaders handling their own business. But you don't need to build a new team. Not for more money. You're not going to chase money. Don't ever get caught chasing money, or you'll be a slave to it your whole life. You're going to build a whole new team just for fun, because you know how. Time to make a new list. Time to review your reason why. Look, when something is daunting, don't sit around thinking about it. It only makes it worse. If you're nervous about it, it's like if you had to swallow a frog. Don't sit around thinking about how you got to swallow this thing. There's no easy way to do it. You better just knock this thing out. Time to swallow the frog.